out of a module, and the module is a triangular module, and it's a flexible module, and it's a module that is flexible enough that it can adapt to different environments, and that can be programmed in different ways. If you think about the architectural program, like solving the problem of like seating or foundation structure or wall or ceiling, and so it's basically integrating all of this into a module and creating like that module that can adapt to different conditions. So there's different lighting conditions, for example, and that's what's interesting is if you combine this thinking with a software like Grasshopper, you can basically articulate like all of this information that you collect from an environment information and feed it into a script, and the outcome is then basically an exchange or like an interaction between different sets of information. So as the spatial quality is a product of like an interaction between different sets of information, and Grasshopper is like a perfect tool to do that, because you can have like a different input of different sets of information and create like something which is extremely complex. And it became, in the second phase, it became interesting because if you want to produce that, there's like a big difference of having a rendering of this one or having this one as a real, actually a space that you can occupy. So it's a big challenge, and it becomes, for example, a logistical problem in just organizing all the panels, numbering like the edges, numbering like all the panels, grouping them, assembling them, in what kind of like order do you assemble them? How do we actually close this thing? You know, how is it possible without like without the crane and without anything? It's pretty hard. So you have to figure out like where you start and where you end. That this actually becomes a big logistical problem.
You went into about a probably 2-week exercise of just trying out all kinds of molds and how we could have possibly 2 or 3 that would vary and be able to create just like an endless amount of these kind of panels from only a few molds. And since they were all triangles, that really helped us out a lot, because we could just have kind of long segments that we rearranged